Welcome to Asian History. This is Module 1.1, an introduction to our Asian history course this year. This is designed to be a companion lecture for the assigned reading for the next few weeks, which is China Road by Rob Gifford. Well, you've probably noticed that China has been in the news a lot lately, and that's because China seems to be on the subconscious of Americans and other Western countries. Whether it's the cause of this consistent coverage or the effect of it, the economic power of East Asia has made it a subject of great interest. We often see Asia as an economic rival or as a military threat. People fear what they do not understand. This is one of the reasons why we study Asian history, because we want to understand and we want to enjoy the cultures and the nations that make up Asia, not seeing them as aggressive rivals, but as partners and collaborators in our rapidly globalizing world. Yes, Asia has become part of the cultural tapestry of the West through its immigration and through all of the cultural things that we enjoy from Asia. But it is also the West that has influenced Asia. It's a symbiotic relationship, and this globalization has actually been going on for a long time. As your textbook points out, the recent economic rise of East Asia is really more of a return to normal. Well, China was probably one of the wealthiest countries in the world before the Industrial Revolution started in Europe. Many of the technologies that made the Industrial Revolution possible in the West had their origins in China. Technologies like the printing press and gunpowder, just to name a few. So one of the big questions historians have is, well, why didn't China experience an industrial revolution first? There are actually a lot of questions like this that historians want to try to answer. This is the way that historiography works. And this is how we will look at Asian history through the next year. We're going to look at it through asking questions. So one of the big questions that historians have then is, did Chinese civilization really develop in isolation? Well, it's definitely a unique civilization among the world's civilizations, especially in light of its writing system, its style of government, and its society. One of the ways that historians have tried to answer this question is by looking at the geography of the region. As part of the greater continent of Eurasia, there was an opportunity for people to migrate into the central China plain along the Yellow River Basin. But it was not an easy journey. The earliest mythical Chinese dynasty was known as the Shah dynasty, and it is mythical because there's no written evidence from the Shah people themselves. But later dynasties wrote about this early culture as being the founder of the Chinese civilization. You can see from the map that there are a lot of geographic obstacles that would have made it difficult for people to migrate into this region around the Yellow River. And the earliest peoples would not have had horses or domestic animals to help them on their journey, because horses were not domesticated until about 1000 BCE. They would have had to cross formidable deserts and mountain ranges to reach the fertile northern China plain. So another question that you can ask is, why did people decide to live along the banks of the Yellow River? Why did they think it was such a great place to settle? One of the nicknames that the Yellow River has gained is River of Sorrows, and that is because of its tendency to flood and cause great destruction. So this is another question that history people have tried to answer.